Radio Engineering, Graphics and Design learners, welcome. This is our first lesson of this term, and we're catching up on 2-point perspective. And this lesson, grade 12, is quite important. I'll tell you why. We recognize something on this top view and the two side views that they've given us that is important for you as a grade 12 for this year. We have a gable roof. And where do you know you're doing a Dutch gable roof design? In your EGD pad. And so this specific question is actually going to help you to also prepare yourselves for your own EGD pad 2-point perspective. Plus, it will be a nice challenge for us to do together. So, let's start off with what is given. So what I like about this one, they've given you a top view. It's at an angle. If I use my triangle, we can maybe just line up this page, make sure it's lined up here. But that's at 30 degrees and on the other side at 60 degrees. Okay, so you're clear and happy with that. Then, pay attention to this. This HL, let me draw it in yellow for you. This HL is the horizon line. Look at its height above the ground line. What does it tell you about our view here? Will it be a human eye view or human perspective walking into that house? Or will it have a bird's perspective? Help me out. A bird's perspective. Look here. This HL is above this house. That bird is flying somewhere on this horizon line looking down at the house. So your perspective is going to be one that is much more from the top looking onto this house. If that HL was at door height or window height, it would have been a much more human eye view. Maak het vir julle sin. Some of you haven't heard this before. Okay? And so the HL can be anywhere. If it was below the ground line, which they've also done in grade 12 in the past, then you're going to literally look at it from the bottom. So a house is a difficult one for you to do that. But it could be another object that they give you. And that HL could be at the bottom. Your steps will remain the same. Normally, or another good popular one is the HL at eye height. That's when you walk into a house. And so the view is going to be very much a human-like view, how you see a house walking into our house. In this instance, that HL is on top, so it's a bird's eye view. All right. Then we have the ground line and we have our standing point. Now, any part of this top view that touches the picture plane is going to do what? Is going to touch the ground line. So this reference point is going to be that reference point right there. And it is the bottom of that corner right here, the bottom of that step in the corner. And then we are going into two directions. Help me out here. From this reference point, we are heading in two directions. All the lines going in this direction. Pick any line here that goes in this direction. Any one of them, whether they're hidden detail, whether they're the roof up here, the one at the back. They are, if I would continue this line, where would they be heading? Where would they be heading if I would continue it? To the right vanishing point. Right vanishing point. Any line in this angle is heading to the right vanishing point. Excuse me. Any line at the secondary angle, which is at 60 degrees, all of these lines, that small one there, this one here, this one, all of them heading in this direction. If I would extend them, they would head into the left vanishing point. Left vanishing point. Why am I indicating that for me on the drawing here? People, because it can be confusing when you are drawing down here which direction. So you can always go and double check. All right. Listen, I'm unsure. This line that I'm going to draw now, do I draw it to the right or to the left? Well, just look at the top view and double check which way is it heading in the top view. It's going to be the same in the perspective. Does that make sense to you? All right. Now, let's determine the two vanishing points. The first one from the SP. I don't normally draw this line because it interferes with the drawing many times. Up to the picture plane and down perpendicularly. Here, make a clear dot, right, vanishing point. You already got yourself 2 marks. All right. Next one, parallel to that side, that's at 60 degrees. From the SP up to the picture plane, make a mark there, directly down to the HL. This is the left vanishing point, another 2 marks. You are set now for a successful drawing. Okay, now we're going to start at the bottom of these steps. So I'm right at this bottom. Where do the lines go from this point? They are going to the right vanishing point and to the left vanishing point. This one at the bottom, this view here, is in fact this view. Do you see that? All right. This Dutch gable end here is this one that they've drawn here. It's a more modern one. It doesn't have the curls and the twists, but that's a Dutch gable end here. Same on this end, but we know that this is, let's call it the front view. That's this one, and our left view or side view would be this one here. So let's start on this corner. We're going to start on the front. We aim it from the ground line to the right vanishing point, and this line that I'm drawing here is in fact this line. So where is there anything happening with this line? Well, it goes all the way to the end. If you look here, it goes all the way to the end before something happens. So I can stop at that point, aim it down to the SP, and keep this drawing accurate. Don't go. I see some of you already trying to do this. The temptation is to just draw all of these lines. People, that's the worst thing you can do. You're going to completely mess up this drawing and get confused. So do one line at a time. Here I'm starting. Remember, it's grade 12. It's complex 2-point perspectives. One line at a time. Going to the right vanishing point where it would have gone all the way to the horizon. But look here. It stops at a certain point. So aim it down to the SP. And then from the picture plane down. Now I know that this corner here is this corner. Happy chappy, and I can draw that in with confidence because I know that one is the end of that. All right. Then it goes up. Well, let's wait with the up. Let's do. There's a second step here. If you can see here on the front. Let's try and get that height. So from this side, let's go to the left first. This line is this line going down at the bottom. Aim it to the left hand. How far before something happens? Well, it goes all the way to the back. Aim it to the SP and down. Very repetitive, but these steps are the only thing that's going to save you. All right, there's the left. All right, now there's a height to it, so we're going to project that height across. This the first step height. It's right on this end. Do you agree with me? So I can draw that in. And then that step goes to the right. Remember the double line here, right on the front. Also to the right vanishing point. How far before something happens? Well, it's that point there where there's a change in direction. So I'm going to draw it in. Construction line. How far before something happens? Well, up to this point here. Not doing the one at the back. We're still on the front there. Okay, this line here is in fact that line. All right, how far back does it go? Well, let's find that step. Aim it to the left vanishing point. It's this line there. Something happens with it. There's a change in direction. Aim that down. Okay, so there is the front part of that first step. Draw that in. From this point, it's this line going across, and there's again 2 lines there. There's a height also. That height we're going to get from, again, this front view. Just first make a dot. Sorry. There was the first one. So my accuracy was a little bit out here, I see now. Okay. Bring that back. Oh, they are trying to catch us out with this one. Do you see what's the catch here? Do you see that there is a thickness to this? This step goes behind this Dutch gable. You see, there's the Dutch gable. There's the actual wall, but that Dutch gable and the roof extends past it. So this line that I'm drawing here is actually just that line, and then I have to go back in and out to get back to that line. So don't draw this line all the way. You're going to first draw this down. There's the thickness of our Dutch gable on the front. That line's going to go up. We won't draw it all the way yet. Let's start it for ourselves. And so this line goes behind it, and it goes up to this point. So I can bring that point down. Actually, I'm going to repeat my steps now in a moment because I want you to there's the one. Okay. All right, you want me to zoom in a little bit just for the sake of helping you out? Better, eh? Okay, so as I said, this Dutch gable here, all right, it extends beyond this wall. So this step, you can see this step goes around that corner behind. This line is the roof line. There's a bit of a step behind there. So I have to first bring these two down, that's this part. And then these two extend, well, how far up to that corner, brought that down. They were on the same line on mine. And so I could just double check that. That goes back. That's just construction. This is going around that behind there. This one also. Okay, so there's that area that goes behind that wall. That's the step, the front. Then this first big step goes all the way back up to this point. So I'm asking, with 2-point perspective, you're asking yourself the same questions over and over. Remember, that's just the roof line again. We're going to have to, again, concentrate when we get to that step area there. So bring that down. Let me just see in class, like, hands up if you are with me. Is there anybody that's got something that you want me to repeat? What step do you want me to repeat? Iemand? Who's confident, like they're able to figure this out? They're with me. Juffrou? Okay, let's continue. So this corner is this corner on the front. There's a depth to it. Let me bring that one down. And then back, that line goes to the right vanishing point. So I'm back here to the right vanishing point. Just repeating myself overs and overs. All right, up that one, here at the back. All right, let's try and get this inner wall. So we've got this point. Now it goes back until this point here. So hidden detail or just construction line. How far back before the wall starts? It's right at that point. Aim that down. So these lines really needs to be accurate for you to get this correctly drawn. No need to rush it. This point at the back there, that I hope you can see, is that line. It's aimed till the right vanishing point. I'll show you one hack now that I think is important for you to know. So that line runs here up to this point. Now I can either bring this point down to the SP, and maybe we can do both of them, and they should meet up with this line. Let's do double check here to see if we are fine. So we can bring this one down, because here's a change in direction. Bring that down, and now this changes to the left vanishing point. It's this line heading to the left vanishing point. So, and you see there, it perfectly lines up with my original line that I drew. Okay. Good. Okay, this one, then we can draw that in. This line runs here. Here we have an arch, So I just want to make sure I indicate that arch. It's this point here. And I'll do both of them now because this is, I think it's easy enough. So there's the one. There's the other one. Okay. Alright, before we finish this part, let's try and finish our gable end. So if I look at it now, I've got these two. Let me bring that down, that center for us, just to get the center line going down here. So I'm just going to work from the foundation height now. Bring that up. And that's the middle of this. So somewhere here we will have this point. Okay. Alright, let's use another method to construct it. We can call it a hack. We'll use the height line method. So I can bring this point all the way to the front of my picture plane. Look at this, follow me. All the way to the front of the picture plane. Then I bring it down perpendicularly to where it's in line with this height. And now I go from this point back in that direction, which is back to the left vanishing point. And so this is how your teachers will actually mark you to double check whether you've done your height correct. So that point there is this point in perspective. I'll repeat myself. So the top of this gable, in line, bring it down to the picture plane, then perpendicular down to where it meets the height of this roof. Where it meets, it's a line running up onto that gable in the direction of the left vanishing point. So I have to aim it back to the left vanishing, and where it crosses this line, that's the top. Let's do the sides here because I want two side ends here as well. So I can do the same with this one. Let me bring this one out. Okay, and this corner is in fact this corner. So I'm going to bring that down, perpendicularly down. And from this point across. And where do I go to now? Back to the left vanishing point. And you'll see there we have the one corner. There's the second corner. Now our third corner we can do one of two ways. I should be able to aim, because these are in line with each other, should be able to aim this one back to the right vanishing point and get this mark there. Let me see. So there's potentially my third mark. Let me see if I do the height line method, if I get to the same spot. So in line here, down to the picture plane. Bring that across. And if I head back now, they should cross at the same spot. There we have it. Perfect. So I know these three corners are correct and I can draw them in with confidence. Chip. And chip. Alright, and the width here for this one has already been done. I just have to get that width. I can bring it down from here. Aim it to the SP. Okay, and so just a reminder for your own pad. Do you see that this is still a Dutch gable? It's a moderner, more modern version. You don't need all those twirls and interesting parts to it, like the traditional Dutch gables. This still qualifies as a gable roof with a Dutch gable. Okay, now you can see that the actual roof line is a little bit submerged almost. So we can do the same step here. We've brought that down, down. There's the roof height. Bring that across. At this point, we're heading to the left vanishing point. And we've brought this point down. It's at the back of it. Just double check so that you don't confuse yourself. Back. There it is. That line is this line running at the back up to this point where something happens, so I can draw that in. So ek hom afgetrek het. Double check, sorry. After just extended that too much. Okay. Slight correction here. Okay, this corner is that corner here. Where do I go from there? Now, right vanishing point. So although it's to this direction, same, aim it to the right vanishing point and bring it across. So that ridge line that I just drew there is in fact this one. How far before something happens? Well, at that point, aim it down to the SP picture plane and down. That's the top of it, and it comes all the way to the front. Aim that one down. Okay, that's on the inside. I'm still wanting to draw this Dutch gable in. Let's do the same steps that we've done previously. So aim this part down to my picture plane. I'm gonna use a height line method. Bring it down to where it is at the same height. And where do I go from this point now? Back to the right vanishing point. All the way back, and now I just have to bring this point also down, aim it for the SP, okay, that's the top of this reach. Let's do the second one, same height. Aim it for the right vanishing point. Oh, sorry, no, it's this one here. Remember, this corner is this one at the bottom. Okay, so this one and that one is in line with each other, so it's actually placed at the right spot. Here it comes, here it comes. And directly behind that on the right vanishing point is my sides. Okay, this one goes up. Okay, let's do this front end here of that gable end. There's an overhang here. We need to get this front. So we've got our height coming from the side. If I bring that across, this one across and down, and then this height across. Okay, and where they then meet, it's this point. So that aims back to the standing right vanishing point. There we go. So it's this line, how far before something happens, up to this point here. Right, the bell did go now, so if you planning to go, you're welcome. I'm going to just quickly finish this drawing. Okay, that corner goes up. Then at the back there's another, this one we need to have a line going down, so we're just going to get the line going across here, aim it, okay, there it is at the back, bring that down. Not far from done on this drawing. That goes to the back now. Just all I want is to determine this back corner. That's all I want, this back corner. So I've already got the line running here. I'm just going to project that down. Okay, that's very interesting. I actually got this part here wrong, because if you look, just double check this down. Okay, so this point actually goes down to this point, all right? That's the back. Then the front one is this one on the front. So that's in line with this one. There we have it. Okay, now we're going to get it right. And down. So sometimes I can confuse myself. This one is in line with that. And so that line goes behind there. That looks right. Okay, got that. So this, from this top here, just position it. So this point here we've brought down. It's this point and that point that we have to determine to get those two. So the first one was easy. The other one comes down and it's on this line. So if I have this dot and I have that joint, I just join them with each other. All right, that's the roof. Now, only thing that's left here, that's a challenge. I'll leave you to do the window maybe for yourself. But I do want to quickly do this arc here. To do this arc, we have to divide our arc into 12 equal parts. You can use your triangle for that. It's going to do 60 degrees on this side. Flip it, 60 degrees. Well, it's a half an arc, so it's just going to be 6 equal parts. Flip it that way. Flip it that way. And then I'm going to bring each one of these corners down to my horizontal line. So I'm going to bring that corner down, that one down, that one's already down, there, there, and there. And it's these measurements that I want to copy to the top view. So using your compass, we know the outer one, that's easy enough. Let's do the second one. Okay, there it is. It's going to be the same on either side. Come back here. Same on this end. Then we're doing the next one. Alright, same on either end. Okay, so I've copied those distances. Make it maybe a bit more clearer. And now I have to bring each one of them down to the SP, and I'm just going to plot these corresponding dots. So the first, the outer ones, those are the ones that they've given us. Just close the door for me, please. I'm busy with the lesson. Thank you. All right, the next one, aim it to the SP. Just on the inside there. The one on the opposite side, just on the inside. All right, those are the first two. Now we can do the next one. It's directly on that line, so we'll bring that down. Next one. Down. And the last one is the center. Okay, so I've got my divisions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I've got to just take these heights. Now I'm going to use the heights here. Alright, bring that across. I can do two ways. I can bring that height across to the line that's in line with the SP. And then walk it across to where it is in line here and back. That would be one way of doing it, which probably is an easy way. The alternative here is to extend this line, this front line, extend that down to the picture plane. Where it touches the picture plane, bring that down. And now those heights, I have them here. Okay, so there's the first one. Did my paper move now? Looks like it. Some movement. Right, there we have it. Okay, there's the first one. There's the second one. Third height. And the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it back to the picture plane. So you're going to see it form on this front. There is the one that goes in the middle. The next one. Next one. Probably quicker and easier to do it this way. The last one is the one at the bottom. So when I have my dots, what do I have to do? French curve. It's not a big arc here. Find something that fits. Okay, there's your arc. There is some depth to this one. How far does it go in? Well, there's your depth. Have to bring that from here. So I'm not changing steps here. I'm just drawing with confidence and using the same steps over and over. There's most likely going to be a little bit of an arc there. I'm just hacking it now for the sake of time. So you could have still determined that arc there on the inside. The last part is the window that goes on this side. I already have my window height. Let me do this maybe this other way. So this height goes to the center line on the SP, same on this side. Okay, and now I'm going to walk it all the way back to here. So to do that, I'm just going to bring that wall to the front. It's right here. Okay, so back to, I want to say back to reality. Back to there, that's the one. There's the other one. So it's these two, these 2 points that I've determined now. This one and this one is the height right here on the front. So that needs to go back to the left vanishing point, back to the left vanishing point. And now I can just from the top view bring that down. And down there's the one side of that window, the other one. Or you could have used the height line method also if you wanted to. Alright, and then there's a depth to that window sill. So again, aim it for the right vanishing point. This point, how far does it go? Back, bring it down. You see how many lines we end up. If you've in the beginning said, I'm just going to wing it and just draw every line down, you would have definitely confused yourself. Okay, the last thing here that I think is important for you to remember, they actually show here at the back, the inner side of that wall with a corner. So you are going to see at the back, so you have to go and determine that we have that inner corner, that's the outer corner. So on that line, let's just bring down this point. I know it's an extra effort to do this, but when it comes to marks, you're not going to be mad at me. That I promise you. That's the inside of that wall. Aiming it back to the SP. You're going to see it there at the back. And you're going to do the same. How far does this go? Well, all the way. And so there's another line here. This line is, if I look through this window, it's this back line here. And if I look through this window, that line there is this one. And that is how you do a Dutch gable. Now this is Dutch gable with two sides to it, with the Dutch gable end here. If I double check my drawing, I don't think there's any lines here that I missed. Rightio, you're welcome to ask any questions you guys have. Anybody in class that's got a question? There's 4 kids left. that stayed in breakdown 5. Good job for you. You happy? You guys happy? Rightio. Thank you for watching. Now it's your turn.